Okay. Selling products. Put sales, Alex, head on.
It's nice, bye.
I like you.
Greetings, Internet. It's Alex and Louis from Barefaced.
Hello.
And we have two cabs that look identical, but they're not.
Nope.
We call this model the Radical, because it is. This is the Radical 212, H for horizontal.
Uh-huh.
This is a Radical 115.
115, yeah.
115, H. I
H
guess.
also, yeah.
I'll show you the back of it. God, it's light, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad, that one.
There we go. So this other Radical, which I'm not going to move because it's got a head on it, David will pop up a picture magically, has an AVD behind this 12. And then most people think that this port is for the other 12, but it's not. An AVD is a port at low frequencies, it just does other stuff at mid and high frequencies. And then, confusingly, by adding another port, it raises the tuning frequency.
Yep.
Which is, again, the opposite of what people would expect. So what we've done is, because a cab this size, we would normally have, say, 2 AVDs, which would tune it to the right low frequency for guitars, which is what an uprising's like.
Yep.
Or, say, a reformer is half this size and has one AVD about this size, so it tunes it about the right place.
Sure.
We add the supplementary port to raise the tuning frequency.
Yeah.
Just so it gets this kind of warmth and fatness we want. We don't need it to go super, super, super low.
No.
And if we try to get it to go super low, we lose a bit of the
spread?
Chunkiness?
Okay.
Thickness?
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Basically, if you tune a cab really low,
Mm.
it eventually becomes a cab with no help from the port.
Yeah.
And then as you tune it higher, the port starts to work and it starts to sound nice and deep, and you go higher and it gets sort of, you start to exchange depth for fatness.
Right.
And then eventually you start to exchange depth and fatness for boom, and that's when they're too high, which is your classic problem with porty cabs, is people tuning them too high.
Too high.
Hence boom boxes, you know,
Right.
and things like that. And yeah, when you get too much, you get that hump in the bass, and that's not just that you've got extra bass, but it kind of resonates more. It sounds a bit boomy and rubbish. But it's a cheap way.
Which
So
this doesn't.
this does not. So that port just tunes it up a bit. But if you wanted to tune it down, you could easily block that with something. You could literally roll up a sock or a glove or a hat. Done that. So if you'd like down tuning, just shove that in there, and you can experiment to see. Because some rooms might want it tuned differently, but generally we found leave it as is, and it does the job. So yeah, there's a 15 in there, which is a fullback.
Session fullback, yeah. I'm excited. I've never really played 15.
100 watt rated. Sounding very good so far.
Yeah.
It's amusingly light. This is doing something who did something weird to his finger, bouldering on Sunday. So
It's not.
it's fine.
It's
fine.
doable.
Yeah. Forearms are still hurting. We've also got a 112 over there, which will join us in a bit.
In a bit. We've got the looper today. We're going to do a little bit of that, but
Yes.
also we were just saying, like, so much of this is fill thing, so we want to do some playing as well. But we will incorporate it.
And we have a few guitars, so if you hate
Yeah.
Telecasters, this is a Reverend East Sider T. We have
Move on.
a Les Paul style one up here, and we've got a triple P90 thing that I think will get involved. So 3 different flavours.
Yeah. I'm going to stick in that F thing just to start. And we'll see. Where are we? That's the 212 to start.
Right,
Got
so the
ya.
212 has 2 vintage 30s in it. So that's our stock speaker, but you can have pretty much any speaker with us. Celestion is the main one, but we can get others in from other people.
What you
So
want.
that's 60 watts each.
Yep.
And 100 dB sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on your perspective, you could call that 120 watts and 103 dB sensitivity. But it's guitar, so I don't think you can add up the sensitivities in the same way that you can with bass, because they kind of add in the lower frequencies more than they add
Than they would here.
everywhere else. So
Okay.
it should logically be a bit louder
It should in
than the
theory.
15, which is 100 watts, 99 dB sensitivity. Ignore the power handling, because that really doesn't matter unless you're absolutely cranking it.
Yeah.
It's the sensitivity that affects loudness.
Yeah. All right.
So off we go. different, but
There's
it's
a difference there, for sure.
What are you hearing?
This is one of those ones where I'm going to say what sounds like a load of nonsense, but it feels more directional. I said this earlier, it's like one voice. It's got like a clarity
I think it's
to it.
less diffuse sounding.
Right, there we go.
I feel that although I'm standing all the way over here,
Mm,
I'm hearing that, the 115.
yeah,
I'm hearing the 15 just as clearly as the 212.
but you're over there, yeah.
So, and I don't think it really seems to matter from when I wandered around earlier.
Yeah.
They seem to both do the thing with the AVD helping
Yeah,
spread
yeah.
the sound and all that.
Does that make sense though? There's just like a clarity to it being one source.
Yeah, I absolutely.
And there's the blend I can hear as well, and I also really like. They're like two different.
There's a
things.
warmth with the 212,
100%.
a warmth, a thickness.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's mellower on the top.
It is.
I think the single 15 sounds louder.
Yeah,
Than
I
the
think
212?
so. When I'm doing that, this is what I was saying about the feel thing. Just that, like, doing things like that, dynamic stuff.
Do that again.
It's more
Feels like there's more dynamics.
More dynamics.
This feels more. The 212 feels more compressed, and the
100%.
115 feels more lively, more poppy with those. Yeah,
yeah.
like
Totally.
it comes out more with the attack.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Should we do some drive and then we'll do another guitar? Because, as often is the case, drives show
Yeah,
up these
drive
differences
will
even more.
show things up more.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep on that because it's a nice chord thing.
Okay,
There's that chunk.
that's chunkier and thicker. The 212 is chunkier and thicker.
That's.
I think there's, but is there more depth underneath the chunk? For the 115, that's why I was. Play that lower stuff again.
Yeah, there is.
So that to me, apologies if you're a guitarist who's never taken any notice of basses,
Hmm.
but it feels like when you're on the 212,
Yep.
that feels like like on a jazz bass,
Right.
there's this fatness
Mm.
with both pickups up. There's
Yeah.
this fatness, there's this clarity,
Yeah.
and there's a bit of gap in the middle.
Right.
What's the 115?
Mm.
That feels like a stingray in that it doesn't sound as fat, but it's got this clarity and definition in the mid-range, even though there isn't as much mid-range in some places, but there's more in others. And then underneath,
The low.
it's got this really real depth to the lows, but they're really tight.
That's like a chugger, genty chugger baritone.
It does
low.
Maybe we're going to have to use the baritone as well.
And it's in the port and
fascinated.
baritone it. That's that kind of sludgy world maybe.
Yeah.
Like doom, stoner, doom rock.
People, most of you don't use 15s for guitar.
No, it's not very common.
I do really wonder, right? Because we have noticed this consistency between 10s, 12s and 15s so far on guitar.
Yeah.
That although you can't say that all 10-inch speakers sound the same and all 12-inch speakers sound the same, because they really, really don't.
Absolutely not.
Particularly doesn't, because, a 10-inch subwoofer for a car stereo sounds absolutely nothing like, well, it sounds more like a 21-inch PA sub than
Right.
it sounds like a 10-inch guitar speaker or a 10-inch PA mid-bass driver.
Yeah.
But what you can say is, if you've designed a speaker to sound good for guitar,
Yeah.
then the 10-inch ones are going to end up stuck in a certain realm, which will overlap with the 12-inch ones, but they will also be in a certain realm on the 15s. And it's because you've designed it to work for guitar, so the other parameters that you've changed haven't been able to be changed that much. Whilst with our bass drivers, we've actually changed parameters in quite odd ways. So our 10s arguably sound more like 15s, and our 12s don't really sound like anything. They try to be honest and accurate.
Yeah.
But it does make me think, if you're in a 2-guitar band, most 2-guitar bands, the guitarists, have 12-inch cabs, whether it's a 212 or a 112 or a 412.
You can have a different guitar, wouldn't you, and a different head or something. But why not have different sizes of driver?
Why not have... If you've got a 2-guitar band, how cool would it sound if someone's playing through a 15 and someone's playing through a 210? How you would slot different places in the mix, instead of both you being through 12s.
For sure.
And then that will probably open up a better space in the mid-range for the bass to come through.
Yeah.
So this has quite a mid-range voice, doesn't it?
That one, shall we?
Yeah. Is that middle?
It's out of phase middle and...
Ah. That's fat, isn't it?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Bit much?
Well,
I like the out of phase of these.
the out face is nice. Remember, that's got the bass contour knob, so you can, if you wanted to use the middle pickup, you could roll that middle set.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it? The 212 first.
Good dispersion, that 15.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think there's a theory with sounds and waves and stuff that the basically dispersion diminishes as the wavelength decreases relative to the size of the source. So a 15 should be more directional than a 12.
Right.
But that's only true if that 15 moves as one unit. Like if this was your speaker, the whole thing moves, when actually it flexes a lot because the cone is really light. And the voice is heavier.
The bigger it gets,
I think
the
the bigger cone will flex more, and I think that's where you get
sense.
some of the colour from, is that the cone is flexing and distorting in certain ways. But it does mean it doesn't seem to be particularly beamy. Definitely far less beamy than a 412.
Gotcha.
They're quite nice voices together, those.
Yeah, yeah, it works.
There's a real mid-range warmth and stuff.
Should I go to the fuzz?
Yeah.
And
Do you want to try turning the... Just have a fiddle with the bass contour control to see if you can put more bottom end into the fuzz. can only make one guitar 15.
Just a fullback, yeah.
Yeah. I presume not a lot of other people make a lot of guitar 15s. This is really, really good.
It's got a character, hasn't
It's
it?
got so much vibe.
Yeah.
It really suited that.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I did find myself
preferred
thinking,
it on that one.
if this was a guitar power trio,
Yeah.
particularly sort of 60s vibe, you know, Hendrixy sort of thing.
Well, would he have had to for it? Because I know, I know Stevie Ray used 15s.
Did he?
The Fender, correct me, nerds, because I always get this wrong.
That's you. There's only one of me.
There's a Fender.
I'm not a nerd,
There's a Fender
obviously.
Vibrolux
I don't know.
that's got a 15 in it,
Right.
a 115 or a 215, because he used a 410 Fender, and then there's a 115 or a 2. So odd speaker configuration.
If you read about old stuff, there's very much this attitude that, you know, your 10-inch speaker was 20 watts and your 12-inch speaker was 30 watts and you'd have a 15-inch speaker that was 40 watts and they were just speakers and you used them for guitar or bass or whatever. And I don't think there was this sort of attitude. That fullback feels to me like Celestion have gone, let's try and make the best 15-inch guitar speaker possible, because I can't get over how fun it sounds and how it just sounds like an electric guitar wants to sound.
Mm-hmm. It's cracking.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Let me grab the 112, one drive, it's the same size box.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We're in this first, are we?
No.
Okay.
I'll start in that then.
Let's.
There is a chunk to the 212.
Yeah.
But there is a
100%.
tightness and a depth and a leanness to the 15.
Yeah.
Which made it feel like you're not getting in the way in the mix. That some of the thumpiness of that is sitting in bass guitar fatness.
Sure.
And kick drum stuff. It's that upper, like where a floor tom hangs out.
Mm.
And there's something about the tightness of the 15 that it felt like you could go low.
Yeah.
And you're all fitting round each other better.
I'm doing that guitarist thing because I want that one.
Oh, do you? Right.
But we're doing that classic thing where
there's a dryness to the 15 that's like.
But we're all guilty of wanting our instrument to flood the mix. So I'm not saying it's the right choice. But it's the one that I'm
not
enjoying.
saying anything. I've never ever been accused of being too loud. Right, we've added another cab. And so now we have the Radical 112 super wide. I mean, it's no wider than any other Radical, but it is super wide for a 1x12.
Yep.
Custom black beading on it.
212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115. Yes.
212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115. 212, 112, 115.
Yes.
212, 112, 115.
Yes. Two V30s, 120 watts. One red back,
150 watts.
150 watts. One full back, 100 watts.
The red back is 100 dB sensitivity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
So
should be.
what we essentially have here is three cabs that, in terms of power handling, can sit under your big Marshalls, your JCM 800s and stuff.
Yeah. We're only on 21 watts on that head, and we're not very loud at all. So.
And they're 2 feet wide, so they're the right width for sitting under full-size heads.
JCM stuff.
Yeah, the only things that are too wide are certain basements, things like that. There's super basements. Some of those are mad wide, old ones,
Okay.
like 26 inches, but you're only like an inch
Never
either
seen
side.
Play one of those. No.
No, their bassists use them and then say,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
have a cab wider than this?
All right, let's just go in.
So we're
with
just
that.
going to go straight. Where should we? Well, let's continue with the full back, and then we'll switch to the red back. So.
Okay. We're going to stick in a similar world, I think.
That's quite confusing, isn't it?
How so?
I mean, nothing wasn't sounding like I didn't expect it to.
Yeah.
The single redback, 112, in a cab that size sounds really good.
Yeah, it does.
I
love the red bat. It's just
It's a
great
really,
driver.
really good driver. We have noticed that the redback isn't that popular online, and I think the AVD does really well to get the mid-range vibe out of it into the room, because I think it's a bigger voice coil,
Yeah.
bigger dust caps, it's stiffer driver, so it's going to have less good dispersion. So I think when you put one in a closed back cab, which is where most of them will go, because you wouldn't be putting a driver that high power generally in an open back cab, because it's not kind of that world of sound.
Sure, yeah.
I think it struggles with being too directional, and the AVD cab saves it.
Right.
And then you get the really great sound, the huge power handling.
It's wicked, yeah.
I noticed there's such a mid-range vibe. There's a warmth and colour.
Yeah.
It talks in the upper mids,
100%.
but in a sort of slightly smoother way.
Yes, yeah.
The redback has a load of detail
Mm.
that the 15 doesn't have.
Yeah,
But it's not detail you need, it's just there.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
It's different character, different colour.
Different vibe.
For sure.
They could both work in the same sorts of bands, I feel.
The takeaway I've had here is not only the distinct character, the 15, but just two drivers in the same box versus one.
Yeah.
That versus that and that versus that is like really different. And it feels really different as well.
Does it? Is it the softness? Softness? Thickness?
It's squidgier.
Squidgy, yeah, it is. That's it.
Yeah.
I think it's because when you have one driver, you pluck the string,
And
and
what you get.
electrical signal goes to one voice coil,
Yeah.
and it comes from that one point, whoomp, out into the room.
Yeah.
And when you've got two
You
drivers,
might get a bit of that.
it goes to two voice coils, which can't be perfectly identical,
No,
because
no.
that's impossible.
And the cones.
Which
they're
drive
gonna
two
press at
cones that
different
can't
points.
be identical,
Yeah, yeah.
which are in slightly different places in the cab and slightly different places in the room and a slightly different distance from your ears.
Yeah.
So there's just going to be a whole load of difference.
Yeah. That's a takeaway for me.
Yeah, it's like reverb if reverb started on the whole of the note, not just the end of the note.
Yeah, yeah.
Should we just quickly bash through a different guitar or two?
Les Paul? Or,
I think so.
Yeah.
These are all Reverend guitars, in case you hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
They're excellent. They are good people at Reverend. We owe them a couple of cabs, which we're going to get out to them ASAP. But yes, we have 6 Reverends.
Yeah.
Is that right? 5 guitars and a Watt plower.
And the bass, yeah.
And they're all really great. So if you haven't played Reverend, check out
Check
a
it out.
Reverend because they're made in Korea by Mia Guitars, family-run business that's been running for decades and decades, and then Reverend
They do a
set
bloody
them
good
up
job.
in the US and then send them direct to their dealers or to us. And they just they turn up pretty much in tune, don't they? Intonation's
Yeah.
correct.
Setup's great.
Neck relief's great, and that's despite having flown across the Atlantic. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll carry on an F.
They're great. That's a cool guitar.
That's fun on all of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is huge. This is junky.
Something I thought when you were playing the fullback earlier, it's got real there's something really old school about it,
Oh, okay, that's a cool way of putting it.
but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be old
It
school.
was a bit 70s.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think it was making me think of old blues sort of
Sure.
guitarists.
Yeah.
There was a colour to it, but then it wants to get heavy when you want to get heavy with
It
it.
can go with you for sure.
The other thought I had was if you are in any sort of classic rock band
Mm.
and you want to sound as authentic to the record as possible,
Mm-hmm.
then the 212 with whichever driver approach is probably going to get you closer. But live, you may actually sound better with the extra focus
Yeah.
of a high power 12.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's a 2 guitar band, you know, this warmth and depth and also focus, but kind of with more softness and
Yeah.
stuff of the 15,
That'll blend you in the mix.
which also will set you in a different place in the mix.
Totally.
What did you think of it for lead versus rhythm stuff? The 15.
I always find it really hard to pay attention when I'm playing lead. I have to focus on playing so much.
Because from my learnings about this
Yeah.
and videos we've done before, we really noticed that for rhythm stuff, the speed
Yeah.
and the tightness of the tens and the detail in the on chord and stuff of it that was coming out of the tens was really good.
Yeah.
And the 12s sang more for lead. They had more bite but less air. And I was, do we have a continuum? Because also some of the 12-inch specialists, like the classic lead 80,
Yeah.
not got a lot of top end at all.
Does it not?
No,
Right.
it's put you a lot of drive into it, and then it smooths it off, so you get that kind of
Let me check
violin-y
really
sort of sound.
quick. Let me just check. Go into the fifth. Yeah, go between them all again.
Yeah, well, let's start on the 112. Oh, let's start on the 15. Yeah.
Just do it really quick so I can fit it.
Well, from my perspective, I thought if you could have a 10, a 12, or we didn't have a 10 here today, but
Yeah.
the 15 sounded the best as a single lead
Single
voice.
note. Yeah, it's got that direct sound. It's good.
Focus, I think. Focus, yeah.
That's the better word for
Immediacy,
it.
coherency.
Yeah.
Coherency, because it's one driver.
One source.
But it's taking that dirty,
Yeah.
searing sound, like particularly when you go up high,
Yeah.
and it's just rounding it
A little bit.
pushing it at you in the right spot in the mix.
Yeah, it's cool. So
Whilst the
totally
red
different
back had a bit
sound.
more, and that was chunkier,
Totally different sound. Yeah.
totally different. It was more obvious. I
I'm
felt.
used to that one, so
Yes.
I was like, oh, there we are. That's the thing I
But
know.
I think the 15,
it's cool
in the
its own
context
way.
of a band, because also don't forget that when you're playing in a band, it's especially live. Once you've got
Mm.
people and noise and drinks and glasses and everyone having fun and whatever.
Yeah.
And then dB meter saying you've got to pick the volume down in some
Sometimes.
places.
Yeah.
That's something that can be coherent and clear
Yeah.
and that can cut through a mix without you going, oh, I just need to go a bit louder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's
All adds
slotting in their own frequency without even thinking about it.
which helps.
Sound engineers not having to do much fiddling.
Yeah.
You know, just turn up and play.
Good
Well,
point.
that's cool. The other thing to note, yeah, they're not tiny cabs, but with my, you know, they are, and they're not lightweight drivers. That's a big magnet 12.
Yeah,
it's a big
these are-
magnet 15, but because there's only one of those drivers
Yeah.
in a cab that's built really light,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. I mean, they're,
Right.
well, head's quite light actually.
It's not bad. It's heavy for the size of it, but it's no.
Yeah, I think the head's a little lighter, but it's only a 22 watt head.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot lighter than that Marshall we just took back.
Indeed.
Yes, thanks Brighton Electric.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
we're done.
Happy?
Ask us questions. We didn't loop anything, did we? We forgot about that.
Didn't loop anything.
Sorry.
Just nice to play.
We'll remember next time, maybe.
We'll try.
Thank you.
See you later.
See you next time.